everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I want to share with you a little bit about what I learned at my last allergist appointment. I went to a new allergist this past Monday because I've been having some supposed allergy issues for about 2 years now. I'll give you a little bit of background. So my husband and I moved to the Huntsville area about 2 years ago, and like you probably already know, hence the name of my channel, I already have celiac disease, but I was eating fine and normally within my diet restrictions up until we moved. When we moved, I had an allergic reaction, or at least what we thought was an allergic reaction to something that I ate that was gluten-free, and I went to the emergency room, used my EpiPen and some Benadryl, went to the emergency room, and everything after that just kind of was normal. Continued eating, and then a few days later, or a couple of weeks later, I ate something again that shouldn't have caused an issue for me because it was gluten-free, and I went back to the emergency room with the same throat tightness, used my EpiPen again, and took some Benadryl. And then, if any of you all have ever had any kind of allergic reaction, any kind of anaphylaxis, throat tightness, you'll know that after you have that kind of reaction, it takes your body a couple of days to kind of reset for your throat to not just continuously feel tight. And they usually send you home with some sort of steroid to help your throat to just kind of calm down and to get that reaction out of your body. And the thing was, even after a few days, the tightness in my throat just never went away. And this caused me to really be afraid to eat, just because any time I would eat, or even when I wasn't eating, my throat had this continuous tightening feeling of starting to go into anaphylaxis. And if any of you all have ever experienced that, it's very scary, at least it was for me. And so that really limited how much I was able to eat in a day. So all that being said, I've been struggling with this for, again, like I said, about 2 years now, on top of celiac disease. I apologize for my appearance today. I didn't put a whole lot of effort into my look just because I was determined to get this video up today, even though I've been feeling ill for about 2.5 days now. And I'm not technically ill, it's just part of celiac disease, unfortunately, or at least I know I struggle with it probably more than most celiacs, because I think I have some underlying issues that we haven't figured out, or the doctors haven't figured out yet as well. But again, I put a little bit of effort in today to try to make myself look presentable, but I'm just not feeling well. Just been exhausted and just had a lot of nausea and waking up with pretty severe headaches. Unfortunately, that's just part of having celiac disease. Some days you feel okay, or you feel fairly well, and some days you just go through these spells of being just exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally, just drained, and your body just hurts. For me, I get a lot of nausea and headaches. So hence the look. Sorry that I'm not looking totally up to par today, but this was as grade A, good quality as I could get out of today. But I want to go into what I learned at my allergist. And so at my previous allergist, before I switched to this new one, I was diagnosed with hay fever. Hay fever, I'm just going to read it off this little pamphlet here. It's also called allergic rhinitis. Allergic rhinitis is caused by allergens like mold, pollen, and animals. These are substances which are usually harmless but can cause allergic reactions in certain people. Allergy symptoms are the result of a chain reaction that starts in the immune system. Your immune system controls how your body defends itself. For instance, if you have an allergy to pollen, your immune system identifies pollen as an invader or allergen. Your immune system overreacts by producing antibodies called IgE. These antibodies travel to cells that release histamine and other chemicals, causing an allergic reaction with symptoms such as sneezing, stuffiness, a runny nose, itching, and postnasal drip. People with allergic rhinitis are also prone to itchy, watery eyes from allergic conjunctivitis or eye allergies, and they may be more sensitive to irritants such as smoke, perfume, or cold, dry air. Rhinitis can contribute to other problems such as asthma, sinus or ear conditions, or trouble sleeping. I was diagnosed with hay fever probably last year, and so we've taken precautions around the house to eliminate dust mites. So I want to share with you all a little bit about what I learned at my new allergist appointment. I looked into getting allergy shots, and I am going to start doing allergy shots because I have a lot of environmental allergies along with my diagnosis of hay fever. I'm allergic to pretty much everything that grows here in our state. So I'm allergic to the grass, the trees, pollen, and tons of other things. And so allergy shots seemed like the best option for me to hopefully get some relief from all of my issues. Now, as far as the throat tightness goes, sorry if my little guys pop into the scene here. They're joining me for my video today. But that has significantly gotten better to the point where I can eat a little bit more now. When I was going through the throat tightness, that was pretty much continuous. I did lose a good amount of weight, and I have gained that weight back plus a little bit. So I'm back to a normal weight. I am functioning much better, and I've been able to take some allergy medicine, which has helped the throat tightness to not feel constant, which has really helped me to be able to eat and to function a lot more comfortably. But I still have the throat tightness when I try a food that I haven't eaten in a long time, and we want to figure out why my body is reacting this way when it never has before. So this is what we learned at the allergist. Allergies are passed through genetics, just like celiac disease is. Celiac disease is hereditary. So if you have it, your mom or dad or grandfather probably had it as well. Just like in my family, I have it, my mom has it, my grandfather probably had it as well. But allergies can also be a product of the environment, like environmental allergies, seasonal allergies, and things like that, not necessarily food allergies. When a person is allergic to something, their body creates chemical triggers known as IgE antibodies. Naturally, these should be a good thing, as the body is supposed to protect you using the immune system to ward off bacteria. However, sometimes the body perceives harmless environmental factors as threats, such as what I'm allergic to, which is ragweed pollen and lots of other things, and creates IgE antibodies to respond to those threats. These IgEs attach themselves to the surface of an immune response white blood cell known as a mast cell. These mast cells contain early chemical responders such as histamines and leukotrienes, which are responsible for causing inflammation, redness, and itchiness as a part of the response to fight off the threat. You may have heard of some medications being referred to as antihistamines like Benadryl, because they are specifically there to counteract the histamines in the body. So when ragweed pollen enters my system, the protein from the pollen comes into contact with the IgE attached to my white blood cells or mast cells. It triggers the mast cell to then burst and sends its chemical responses into fight. So that's what causes the allergic reaction. So what we learned is that I take two medications right now, Zyrtec and Singulair, to treat two of the main early responders. Zyrtec treats the histamines and Singulair treats the leukotrienes. However, there is a second wave of late responders that we found out that I had not been treating, known as eosinophils. These cells release chemicals sometimes when they perceive the immune response needs additional help. So for that reason, the doctor suggested I try Flonase, which is a nose spray which is also a corticosteroid that basically coats the inside of your nose. And what that does, it also coats your mast cells in your body, in your nose, to prevent them from the explosion when the ragweed pollen or whatever you're allergic to enters into that mast cell and causes the explosion or the allergic reaction. So it coats the mast cells before they have a chance to trigger, which should prevent the late responders from ever triggering. So the allergy shots I'm going to be doing in addition to taking my Zyrtec Singulair and starting the Flonase. Allergy shots are allergens that I'm allergic to. It's a serum that they make specially for each person that contains their allergens or the things that they're allergic to in a serum, and then they are going to do an injection on the back of my arms. I'm going to have 2 separate serums that they're going to use for injections. I originally wanted to start the allergy shots in the rush way that you can start. So the rush system is when you go to your allergist and have multiple shots that you take until you get to the certain point in your serum where everything is the same amount of allergen within that serum, because you start off with just a small amount of allergen and then you boost up each time you get a new shot. I originally wanted to do that because you sit in the allergist office for about 6 hours, and they watch you for 30 minutes after each treatment to make sure that you don't go into anaphylaxis. Now, that was originally what I wanted to do because otherwise you have to make about 25 trips to the allergist before you get to the point in your serum where you have the same amount of allergens within that serum to continue on for the rest of the 5 years or however long you need the allergy shots. So my allergist suggested that I not do the rush way of starting the allergy shots because I do have anaphylactic tendencies. You can go into anaphylaxis from allergy shots, and so that's why after every time you have an allergy shot, you are required or at least advised to sit in the allergist office for about 30 minutes so that if you start to go into anaphylaxis that they can treat you immediately. So that is what I'm going to be starting as soon as they are finished making my serum. They said I think it would be about a week or a week and a half before my serum is ready to start the treatment. But as far as the rest of it goes, my allergist has a couple of ideas as to what could be causing this throat tightness for me. And he had 4 different ideas of what could be causing the throat tightness. One of them is vocal cord dysfunction, where your vocal box is actually dysfunctioning and it is trying to close your voice box, and so your vocal cords feel tight because they're being strained. Another one was post-nasal drip, which is as gross as it sounds, is when you have allergies and your nose the drainage kind of drips in the back of your throat. So what's happening there is that your throat is literally trying to kind of close up so that that nasal drip is not entering into your esophagus or into your stomach. Those 2 theories were ruled out for me by other doctors. I had my vocal cords examined and they were functioning perfectly fine. I even had a procedure where my throat was stretched. So that has kind of been my personal journey and what's been going on with me physically. It's been very difficult and I don't know why this is happening to me, and I don't know the reason behind it all. It's very difficult to live with, to have this many issues with your body. Anyway, moving aside from that, I'm obviously not a doctor. Anything that I have said today is just simply what I have learned from my allergist, and that's just simply my perception from what he has told me. I'm not a doctor, I am not a professional, so if I have said anything wrong in these videos that's not technically correct, you're just gonna have to forgive me because this is just a crapshoot, and it's just me trying to understand what's going on with my body and hopefully help any of you all who have been struggling with allergies or even just struggling physically in some way. So I'm not a doctor. Go see your doctor if you need help. Don't see me. Sorry that this was a little bit more gloomy of a video. It's just been a real struggle lately for me, but I just wanted to be open and honest with you all, and hopefully to help any of you all in any way that I can. If you've been having a health struggle, to know that there's someone else out there that's going through something as well. You're not alone, even if it's not exactly what I'm going through, or if it's much worse than what I'm going through, that there's someone out there, that you're not alone, the only one struggling. So with all that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I hope that you learned some information about allergies or found this video informational or helpful. If you would like to see, hopefully not very many more gloomy videos like this, but if you would like to see some more informational videos, or you want to see more of my fun videos where I talk about gluten-free hair, beauty, and makeup products, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and also ring the bell. That way you'll be notified of every time I upload a brand new video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.